isn't that something that people tend to do? They try to normalize whatever fucked up perversion they have, and they put it into art. Like, that was one of the things that they were accusing Louis C.K. of with this movie that he released right before it came out, that he was jerking off in front of a bunch of people. He had this movie, and part of the movie was just talking about how everyone's a pervert. We're all perverts.
I'll tell you something off the air when we get off. Remind me to tell you. I don't want to say it on the air.
Off the air with Dom Herrera. That's your new show. Off the air with Dom Herrera.
All I do is burn people and lose any contacts I've ever had.
Hey, is this thing on? It's not good. Let me tell you a story.
I got to go one. Yeah. Actually, the night that he went, or the day after he went, I went on stage. I said, I'm so excited. I got a part in Louis C.K.'s new TV show. It should shoot in about 10, 15 years. And it took him a beat, and then they got it.
I think he'll be back in a year.
Well, you know what, Joe? He has that advantage of, he was the one that created the idea of selling your own thing, right? I mean, so he can do that. I mean, he doesn't need a producer for that.
That's true. That's true.
You'd have him on this show, right?
I would 100% have him on. Yeah. I think he's a different person than when he did those things. I think those things that he did, jerking off in front of a bunch of people, is terrible. And I think he probably had an idea in his head of what those things were and of who he was and who he would be. And I think a lot of your self-definitions a lot of times are based on this very limited idea of who you are, very limited idea of who you're going to be. Right. And he's like wallowing in his own weirdness and just wants to jerk off in front of somebody. You know, it's out of all the offenses of things you could do to someone, it's one of the least egregious because he's not raping. As
long as he didn't lock the door.
He's not. Yeah, he didn't lock the door. He's not doing anything awful to someone. He's just doing something weird in front of them.
I think it's beautiful.
Do you?
No,
I don't think it's beautiful. There's a lot of things that I think are beautiful.
I think it's ape-like.
It's definitely ape-like. Well, it's human-like.
Then I batted it out of the air.
Because an ape doesn't really care if you're jerking off, if you're watching when he's jerking off.
He could be eating and jerking off at the same time.
Banana in one hand, banana in the other. Get it? Hey.
Yeah.
Hey. See what I did there? Yeah. Out of all the things that he did, and I think that his apology was. What's the way to look at it? I think it was honest. I think it sort of explained how his mind worked and why he did it in the first place. It's obviously not something he's proud of. It's obviously something he's disgusted by himself. And you can't. Here's the thing: you jerk off in front of someone 10 years ago. How do you fix that? You don't do it again, and he hasn't done it again. Here's the thing: no one's saying he's done anything in a long time. Like all the accusations were like, I want to say they were from years ago, right? What do you do? Like, how do you fix that? Like, so let's say you did jerk off in front of a few people, Dom. Like, you know, like I don't know what it came over me. I
jerked off in front of a blind lady. Does that still count?
It depends on how good her hearing is.
Oh, you're right.
If she's hearing.
Yeah, you're right.
She's like, what are you doing over there, Dom?
My bad.
Nothing. And she has to guess. It's all fucking guesswork. How do you fix that? Like, what does a guy do to fix that? I mean, I think out of all the people, like, how the fuck would you rehabilitate Harvey Weinstein? How do you let Harvey Weinstein around a woman again? How do you leave Harvey Weinstein in a hotel room with a woman who comes in for a meeting or an office?
Cosby was the worst. Though.
He's the worst. He's the worst. I don't think you can rehabilitate him. What do you do? How do you fix that? The only way Cosby gets rehabilitated, I mean, not really rehabilitated, but the only way he gets reintroduced into society is if everyone believes those girls are lying, and that's never going to happen. It's impossible. Because everybody heard those stories a long time ago.
When I did Star Search in like '83, and he was the guest host, and we were hearing shit about him on the set then.
Really?
Womanizing and stuff. Yeah, I mean, of course, not as extreme as drugging them and raping them.
But like, if you're a guy like Louis C.K., what do you do? Like, what could he have done before the story came out that he's doing that to girls? What could he have done to make amends? I mean, what could he have done? He said sorry to some of the people.
I don't know. Why are you looking at me like that?
I'm just trying to think. I'm just trying. You're my friend. I'm looking at you. Okay. You're right there. I'm just thinking, like, what would one do? I mean, it seems like I'm not exonerating him, right? But it seems like all these years since then, he hasn't done it again, right? So if he hasn't done it again, he must understand that there's something wrong with it.
Yeah,
there's some weird compulsion. And
it had to be a power thing, because if anybody could get a hooker and do that, you know.
Well, here's the thing. He's probably doing that too.
Yeah.
I mean, if he liked jerking off in front of people, he might have just liked jerking off in front of all kinds of people. He might have jerked off in front of hookers too. I mean, I don't know. But we know that he did it in front of women that really didn't want him to do that.
That's what I thought might be part of the kinkiness of it.
Yeah. But there's some stories of him doing it in front of women, and they thought it was hilarious. He did it in front of some female comics, and they thought it was hilarious.
How do you stay hard when they're laughing?
You got to be a real animal. It's better man than me, Dom.
I did a line, Joe. I don't know what you think of this line, but Woody Allen. I mentioned him on stage, and these women started booing. I said, "Why are you booing?" And they said, "Because of what he did and the daughter and all this." I said, "Look, I don't know." I said, "But one thing you got to admit, he really must love her, because it's not like she's hot, you know." I know, but that got a laugh.